podcast, impromptu, motherfuckers. Jamie, over here, fucking asshole, liked Poke Awesome too. You don't know what that is? It's by Egoraptor. Egoraptor's great. He redeemed himself for it, but still, it was fucking terrible. And here's why. It was great in the beginning because Ash didn't beat Brock, but still got the badge for his, ingenuity and junk. And then,
which it was Pikachu.
It was, yeah, whatever. But, Ash told Pikachu, whatever. So, it was cool, and then Brock's like, here, I give you this badge because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to show it off, and it's just like, well, you didn't actually beat me. And then it's like...
I was basically just being nice to you.
Yeah, and it's basically like, it's like, I got the badge, blah, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool. And like, so, Brock goes home, and he's like, oh man, I feel really bad for giving a trainer a badge without them actually beating me, because that's like the whole point of gyms. And so... His wife is like, well, I know how to cheer you up, and like it's kind of like I feel like it's a little bit Brock's fault because he turned down his sex from his wife.
That's why he done it?
And he was like, oh no, I'm not in the mood, and she's like, whatever. But like, all she wanted was sex, which pisses me off. Brock deserves a good gal. If it was some other guy, like some actual douchebag, I'd be like, ha, Ash fucked the bitch. But no, it was Brock, and Brock is good, guys. Good.
Isn't Brock constantly trying to get girls up?
Yeah.
And where it's revealed that he has a wife and or girlfriend.
No.
Because this is canon.
This is a different Brock. This isn't like
Brock?
No.
This has been beaten.
Fuck you. This is Brock from the games.
Oh.
Yeah, Brock from the games because it's red, not Ash. Wait, is it? Oh fuck, it's Ash.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Duh, Arthur.
But no. It's not the same Brock because he has a wife. And he would have gone with Ash if it was.
I was just joking, using the series as a jumping point. It's not complete. It's not related at all. Anyway, I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh my god.
It's not even like, why? What did you hate the? No, I like it.
But he definitely. I think the
console versus PC.
I think the video was called Consoles versus PC.
Yeah,
he definitely redeemed himself.
That was amazing. It's real.
Wait, Bullcrap?
Yeah, we were talking about those cartoons on the For Real machine. Remind us of Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah,
that cartoon reminds me of Ren and Stimpy. Like when he opens the door and it's like a detailed painting of him on the toilet.
It's just like, hey, Bullcrap.
Oh man, I can't believe it. Like when he's looking at the side, he's like, how are we gonna play Bullcrap together? I don't know. You playing Bullcrap without me? I'm sorry. I can't believe you.
I like the PC version better.
I don't know, some shit or some shit. I don't know. Mouse is easier. I can't afford a PC, man.
I can't afford a PC, man. I'm opening the door slowly. No, come here.
Like, what if he was just booping? Like, still, you. I like how he just looks over. Like his eye just like fucking spasms.
That's what I like about Egoraptor. He can like do something terrible and then redeem himself because he's just like that lovable guy. But at the same time, the terrible shit is just like, well, he didn't really like. I almost feel like it's like Egoraptor's a child. He didn't mean it. He didn't know what he was doing. Like, I feel bad saying that, but it's almost true.
It's always like saying a joke. Sometimes, like if you tell an inappropriate joke, you either have people like don't think it's funny but don't feel offended, people who feel offended, or people who just think it's funny. Like he released it, he probably is like, oh, this makes me laugh. I showed it to a couple of people, it makes them laugh. Whatever. And I guess just people on the internet just didn't like it. Which I didn't even know there was people who didn't like Awesome too.
How did you not know?
I don't know. I didn't look at the comments or anything, I guess. I've noticed I've stopped reading YouTube
It was like
comments.
a huge deal. Like, for real.
I don't know.
Like, everybody was like, I'm unsubscribed. He lost, like, 10,000 subscribers or something like that.
Okay, then those people are
But
just
he also gained, like,
those people are just being babies at that point. Like, really? One cartoon that he made like, you didn't like enough to unsubscribe?
I know. Like, I stayed subscribed to him, but I can understand it. Like, I was like...
That's stupid.
I was
out
like...
of all the comments, he was like, you know what? I'm going to stop following you just because I didn't like this cartoon.
No. See, they definitely, like... were crazy, like they just like, oh, this is fucking fucked up, I'm gonna quit, I don't like him anymore. Like, I didn't plan on like unsubscribing, but I mean, if it would have stayed like that, like if all the cartoons were like that, I would have unsubscribed. Like,
Which again, I don't. Plus, he doesn't. That would have taken you a long time to unsubscribe because he doesn't release retarded.
It's mainly because like cheating is a touchy subject, especially with such a nice guy like Brock, and like I don't know.
That's. I think that's a way that I think that's how I know that I can separate myself from certain fandoms where. No, I like Pokemon. I'm a fan of Pokemon, but obviously
It's not even okay. It's not even
like
Pokemon
Brock
either.
was such a nice guy. Why would you do that?
No,
to
no,
him?
no. It's
Ego
not
Raptor.
even. It's
in
not
your 2-minute cartoon.
It's not even It's not even Pokemon. It's
They
like
make Ash mentally challenged.
no. It's not even Pokemon. It's the cartoon itself because he's a nice guy in the cartoon and
he
he's
gets
like a
screwed
great
over?
guy and he has a nice wife and she's a hot wife.
Well, I always thought
And
this was
hold on,
funny.
and she fucked the fat kid because
Quote,
he
unquote, kid, by the way, yeah, straight up kid.
yeah
He's probably like 12.
she fucked 10. He's
Okay.
10.
Okay, cool.
She fucked the fat 10-year-old because her husband didn't want to have sex with her. She's a fucking whore. And see, it's not even. It's
If
it
that
seems like
offends you enough, wouldn't like? How are you still on the internet? 'Cause
it's
there's
not.
way
No.
worse
I
than
know.
it's
I know
not.
there are people worse than that. But I mean, it's just like, did I expect this from Ego Raptor? And it's like, no, I didn't. And that sucks that he did this. But I mean, it's not even that. I know it's not even that bad. But it's just like when you just see it and think about it, it's just like I really don't like this. There's something.
That's why it made me laugh. 'Cause
There's
it's
something
just like,
about it that I don't like.
They just keep shitting on him. First, there's this guy, and he's obviously gonna win. And this kid does something, and he decides to be nice. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna be nice. Here you go. And just because of that nice thing, he's like
And also, it's like, yeah, he was a nice guy, and they just
that's
like.
why I think it's funny. See, I don't know. See, the way you're describing it, it's like it's not like it's like a character study. It's a fucking. It ends with a big fuck you. I don't know. I like it.
I don't like it. There's just something about it, and that like that we're two different people, and I understand you're just an asshole.
I find it funny. Yes. Then again, we all laughed at Elmo being a complete racist.
Oh, yeah.
It's good jazz.
So, you what was it? I got bitches online.
I'm Elmo. I've got bitches lined up.
I got bitches lined up. People would kill to be in your position right now. Where's my latte?
Come here. Let me tell you. Do you expect me to drink this piss? I asked for mocha. Is that mocha to you? No. Fix it. It's just like this little puppet.
Am I working by myself here?
I know, it's like, they're like, so, okay, 3, 2, 1. Did you like that cartoon? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they both at the same time. Don't you like the...
No.
And it almost-
No. Both at 3, 2, 1. I like the part. Hey.
I like the... and then Elmo's puppet just
Elmo pauses.
closes his mouth, looks at the girl, and then...
What part did you like?
And the girl's like...
I like the cartoon. It's just like, if you like the cartoon so much, maybe we should watch another.
cartoon. Okay, 1 minute, guys. What was that? And it's just like a fucking... I love it. It's good jazz. Oh, speaking about the internet... I don't know. Speaking about the internet and stuff that's messed up, I have a friend named Ben. He's really nice. He's like a good Christian, whatever, and he's not... It's not like he's like shielded from everything in the world. Like, he knows. He's in the world, but he just... We're the type of people that would go up to our friends and go like, hey dude, check out this thing called the Pain Olympics. It'll make you throw up. He's not that person.
Dear God, I do not want to watch the Pain Olympics again.
Jackson forced me to watch the Pain Olympics while we were eating cheese pizza.
And you're like,
I was watching him. I continued eating, but I was just surprised.
You're
Anyway, he's not that type of person, so we have a film class together, and we're all kind of... And we're
I like how he's in your film class, where obviously you're going to cover some like risque stuff.
Yeah, so we all know we all use the internet in that class. We were talking about just different stuff. We like mentioned hentai, and we mentioned cakefarts.com and just random crap like that. And then he's like, "What's hentai?" So we kind of had to. I felt bad, but we kind of had to.
Japanese cartoon porn.
We kind of explained that to him. He's like, "Well, now I know that." It wasn't like he was fazed by it, but he's like, okay, that's weird. I now know that exists. So today we were just walking by a whiteboard, and it was a bunch of logos for popular websites. And he's like, I know what like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter is all, but what's 4chan? So I stopped in my tracks, and me and this girl in our class, Morgan, we kind of had to explain to him what 4chan was. We explained to him what Tumblr was, what Reddit was. We explained to him what 4chan was. We explained to him. We showed him a pony thread simulator, which if you've not seen pony thread simulators, they're amazing. Dark side of the internet, and then we had to explain to him what clopping is, which again, just Google it, or don't actually. Just live in ignorant bliss. And then we told him about creepypastas, and then by the end of the class, he was just like, "Wow,
I've learned so much.
I've learned so much, and I can't process it." And then we made me and Morgan both were both like, "Okay, so we're only telling you basically all we've told you. We've told you just the basic amount of knowledge that you need to know. Because if we give it to you all right now, you'd probably collapse into like some sort of schizophrenic rage."
Schizophrenic rage.
Yeah. So yeah, the internet's a really messed up place. I love the internet.
Yeah, dude. I feel like without the internet, the world would be a little bit of a better place. Like, that sounds bad. Like, that sounds bad. Like, I feel like we need to take the...
Not as connected?
No.
But far better.
We need to take the internet away from some people.
That's true.
Like, the Pain Olympics people.
Oh my god. What was it anyway? What was
Two kids in a sandbox, or two kids playing in a sandbox, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
How do you bring yourself to like say like I'll do it?
Oh my god. Like, what? We're not talking about it.
We're not talking about it.
No. 2 girls, 1 cup.
One man, one jar.
1 man, 1 jar.
Which I watched it. At first, you're just staring in amazement because you're like, how could he do that? That's a great skill. And then you see it shatter, and you're like, oh. And then you see the first drops of. No, I don't know.
Please,
I don't want to talk about it.
Jamie, please.
Oh, another thing I like about the internet that's actually pretty weird. Is it Dolan or
Dolan?
I call him Dolan comics.
I call him Dolan or Dolan.
So basically, what it is these really craftily drawn versions of
Donald Duck
and Scooby, Scooby Doo, Shaggy. Goofy.
Well, there's like a bunch of them, and like no matter what, you could basically take a character,
distort him and knock, like,
distort his face, remove some letters, change some letters, and like almost mix the name up sometimes.
Yeah.
And you've got your character, and like
the main one is Dolan or
Dolan, Dolan,
which is whatever.
And then there's Gooby, which is Goofy,
and then Pluto is usually Pluto's always around, like the dog Pluto.
Yeah. What do they call him?
Pluto.
They just call him Pluto.
His name is Pluto, but he's really creepy looking.
Is it with a D? Pluto?
No, it's Pluto. Just Pluto. In all lowercase. And they're these really crappy. Okay, so if you know what rage faces are or rage comics. Imagine those of lesser quality and much more laid back, darker. There's basically
Dolan help.
there's one that's my favorite for some reason. There's one where Dolan goes up to Pluto and Dolan's like, "Hey Pluto, Gooby was telling me about something, a secret about you. What is it?" And then Pluto's like, "Dolan, I'll be back." And he goes up to Goofy and he pulls a knife and he starts cutting Gooby's face off. And he's like, "Sorry, Gooby." And then it cuts back and he has like Gooby's face crudely put on his face. And he's like, "Oh, hey, Dolan, I was lying about what I said about Pluto." And like Gooby's always tortured or dead. There's this one weird, bizarre one where his snout is really messed up.
Just put it up on the screen.
I will put it up. There it is.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Boom! Right here. A little bit up here. I know you hate that. I'm sorry.
I might just do it now as a joke. But now that I've said that, I might not.
Are you able to do that now? Have you figured it out?
Yeah. I can do it.
You fucking told me.
No, it's not like I can just take it and move it like on it. I have to like, okay, he said there. Okay, so go to like paint, put this on like a black background.
So like it has to be one image.
And I can erase the color, but I'd have to keep.
That's kind of a lot of work.
That's why I don't really like doing it for stupid jokes.
Boom! Right there. That's 3, Jamie. I think, or 4. I don't know.
There's this really messed up one where like Gooby's in the bed, and he's like, and then Dolan's there visiting him, and he's like, "Dolan, come close. I have to tell you something." And then Dolan like gets up close, and it's like, "What is it?" And then throughout the panel you see beep 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 with the machine, and then where Dolan's like, "What is it?" Like the beeps are gone. And like his eyes, it's like from the viewpoint of Gooby looking up at Dolan, and then Gooby's like, "Dolan," and then you see Dolan holding a plug, and it ends with Gooby with X'd out eyes on the back going, "Fuck you, Dolan."
That's great.
Which they're really misspelled, like Gooby Plus. Or please is just PLS.
It's PLS and it's like Gooby Plus.
By the way, it's not PLS, it's POD. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I saw you comment on it. I saw you right. I meant POD.
Yeah. Okay. In the music video one or the music, the music, the one where we talk about music, I didn't mean POS, which is an acronym for piece of shit. I meant POD, which I'm not sure if that's an acronym for anything.
Piece of dollar.
Don't. Yeah.
Oh my god, your face.
And they don't have a song called what was it? Anthem or anything. I don't. Think
No, you
so.
were talking about Rise Against.
No, I was saying POS has a song called Anthem,
Oh,
but I was wrong. They don't.
because POS doesn't. That's not them.
I'm sorry, internet. I failed you. But so yeah,
We were having a lot of conversation
we're having a lot of conversation,
on the way up to recording.
and then we just can't.
Now we just can't.
What was something else we talked about? Oh, the blacks. No, I'm joking. We're not racist. We love the blacks.
That just sounds worse.
I'm sorry. Jamie's Mexican, and I am.
That's like that Down and Tosh
I'm
joke
white.
is like where he tells like a racist joke. He's like, no, that's fine, because my best friend is Puerto Rican, and that's close enough.
That's like really racist.
I like Down and Tosh.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
That
he's
beer.
not the best.
No, it's not beer. It's not beer. We're underage. It is definitely an energy drink that is Rockstar, and I love it.
That's strong. You can no seriously, like I can.
No, that's strong. That is strong. Like,
Really? What the?
I haven't had a Rockstar in forever. I don't know. Yeah. Ugh. That's really sour. Whoa.
Just to the.
Ah!
Just to lay out the situation for you, Lucas has half full bags of Fritos scoops
Top and goes.
and a bucket of cheese,
A bowl full of chili, cheese, and mustard.
a bottle of Mountain Dew
Empty.
finished,
Code red. Empty.
a bottle of Yoo-Hoo empty, and now a Rockstar.
Soon to be empty.
So you're really healthy.
Yeah, dude, I'm healthy.
What's your secret?
You know,
Because you can crack Jackson's spine in your
Chick-fil-A
hand.
chicken sandwiches, dude.
See, I can't even make a joke now because that just blew my mind.
I pulled a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich out of my bag, and
I saw you leave actually at school.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, oh my gosh, it's like
50.
50. Yeah.
There's a lot of 50 anniversaries this year.
Like within the past 5 years, I feel because like with television, I feel like it's almost with television and the internet. Like the internet came like 10 years later or 20 years later.
After TV?
Yeah,
Well, no.
was the internet before TV?
How is that possible?
Hold on.
The internet came out like in 1990. Like the late 80s is when people started putting it together.
Well, whenever I say like 10 or 20 years ago, I mean that it became the norm.
Oh, like today?
Yeah.
Like from okay, yeah, sure. I thought you meant like
No. I meant like
I thought you meant
10
10,
or
20 years after TV. I'm like, no, not even close.
TV became the norm. Like it came out in like the 40s.
Yeah, I think so.
The 40s or 50s. It became a household norm to have it in like late 60s,
Yeah.
and like it became the norm to have at least one computer in the house during the 90s, early 90s, we could say. So it's
Yeah.
about 25 years.
But
yeah.
like it's really young.
But like I feel like there's also a lot of 25th anniversaries going on this year, and it's like with the birth of television comes like advertisement for like a whole generation of fast food chains,
Yeah.
and then with the birth of the internet comes like advertisement for like video games and like everything. Like it's just like you can see patterns when you look at that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and like I'm sure like there will be something out in the future called like Smoothball or something like that, and we'll all be like, yeah, dude, Smoothball, we can't live without it.
And then we'll
Dude,
be like,
and
back
we'll be
in
like-
our day, we had a thing called YouTube.
We didn't have Smoothball. We had the internet, and that's all we had. like our parents are like,
Back
we
when I
had
was a-
television, we had 4 channels.
Back-
4chan.
Oh, God. back when we were 20, we had a thing called the Gene, and that at that point you could basically travel to the moon if you wanted to. Yeah, Grandpa. Okay, it's nice. I'm gonna go visit like the third galaxy or whatever. Like that's because you hear people talking about all the other stuff because the 20th century you had like a huge leap in technology.
I feel like the 21st century is like slowed down
Yeah.
because like there's not much more to do.
they've added awesome things, and they've kind of upgraded those. Sometimes I feel like we're cynical. We're either cynical / stupid.
Like we've definitely
to the fact that we have
I feel
technology.
like last
teenagers
year,
have technology that was super like far and away in the freaking Jetsons, like video conferencing. That's insane.
You know
the
those,
fact that I can talk to someone like on my phone is weird.
There was like, you know those suitcase car things?
Yeah.
We don't have those.
Yeah, that's
so
weird.
Fuck off.
Mine's the size of like if you were to a block of cream cheese, my phone.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, suitcase car.
Oh,
like you know how he has the suitcase and he like throws it and it turns into a car?
I thought you meant because back when cell phones started going, it was a suitcase you'd carry around with a giant battery, the phone, and the.
You're talking about a car phone.
Yeah.
Which actually used the car's battery to use.
Oh, okay.
Which is, but whenever you got a quote unquote cell phone, which was the suitcase, it had its own battery.
Yeah.
And then whenever you got
too.
like this, like the actual cell phone. No,
wireless.
There were portable phones, and then there were cell phones, and cell phones were tiny, comparatively.
Why'd you look at me that way? They were tiny.
I didn't cough.
That's what you go. What the hell?
What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. I'm dying. Or something.
Or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, a cell phone was probably about as big as this Mountain Dew bottle.
Is that a 1 liter?
This is a 1 liter Mountain Dew bottle.
Okay. You speak while I go get some.
Hello? I'm on the phone.
I heard an episode of According to Jim, which that's a shitty show. But there's an episode where they explain how Jim and his wife met, and it's in the 80s, and Jim's outside, Jim's in the phone, or Jim's in his car waiting on their first date, and he calls his cousin or brother or whatever. He's like, "Yeah, no, I'm calling you from my new cellular phone." It's nuts. I don't know why that made me laugh. It's just funny.
I used to watch The Nanny, and I feel like they were almost...
Nerd! No, I'm kidding.
Fuck off!
I love The Nanny.
I do too. But like, I feel like they were almost making fun of themselves. Or like, not themselves, but cell phones and how they were shit back then. Because like, that was during the time when cell phones were becoming the norm. And like, it's funny how they just knew stuff was gonna happen. Like, they knew cell phones would be better, so why not have fun with it while it's there?
Oh, dude, the word norm made me feel again. I'll explain after.
Okay, so they were like it had was it?
Yes.
Fran. It had Fran, and she was like, "Oh, hold on, I'm getting a call on my new cellular phone," and she answered the phone, and she's like, "Hello," and she's like, "What? Hold on a second, Mom." It's like, "Hello, hello," and she started like she stood up and she was looking around for a signal. She was like, "Hello." She like bent down a little bit, and she got like right next to the head of her chair, but she was standing up. She was like, "Hello, is this better?" "Oh, okay, cool. I can hear you now." It's like, all right, and then it's just like she says, "Hold on a second." She looks at her mom or something. She's like, "Isn't technology amazing these days?" And I'm like,
That's
what
funny.
the fuck? How did she do that? Like, how did they know? Because like back then, it would have been like normal for phones to be shitty.
I made an edit right there.
And then
I edited me walking over here out.
that's great.
Anyway, okay, back in the when was Charlie Chaplin? Like, was that 20s or 30s?
No, dude. 2012.
Okay, so Charlie Chaplin, he was star of a bunch of silent movies and he directed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then they introduced talking movies.
Talkies.
Yeah, and people were losing their shit over them because like I can hear what they're saying.
And his voice, it was terrible.
No, it wasn't
or
that.
something?
It was. He made another movie called He made movies silently, and people were like, "Dude, just come on, man, move on to talkies."
And you didn't think talkies would catch on?
No, it's not that he didn't think they would catch on. He made I think it's The Dictator that he made, and at the end, it's like a sound movie, and at the end, he starts giving this. No, it wasn't The Dictator. The Dictator wasn't silent, but he made this movie where there's a scene where this guy is talking like on a phone or something, and he's talking through a can. And that's the only part of the movie that has sound. And he's talking through a can, and you can't hear shit. And it was basically him saying, like, yeah, talkies sound horrible right now. Why would I ever want to do that to my movies? By making them sound like crap. So he was basically saying, like, the only part where someone talked in his movie was them talking through a can, because they're like, yeah, that's what it sounds like. So it wasn't that he didn't think it would catch on. He just, like, right now they're absolute crap.
But he knew they would.
Yeah. Charlie's a cool dude. I met him.
Did you?
No.
Is he dead?
Yes.
Okay.
He's been dead for a while.
Okay. Like, I mean, you know, they're like 100-year-old people, and it's like, is Clint Eastwood dead?
No, he's alive. That bastard's still around.
Yeah, I was like, he's like 90.
He's Clint Eastwood.
Isn't he like 90 or 80 or
I
something?
think he's either 80 is in his 80s or about to be, or 90. I don't know. Fuck. He's old.
He is old.
He's
And,
awesome
like,
though. I love him.
I feel like Clint Eastwood is like a name that everybody knows.
They don't know who Clint Eastwood is though.
I feel like if you ask someone who's Clint Eastwood, they'd be like, "Isn't he like that 40-year-old guy from like Cowboys vs. Aliens?" Don't you feel like they'd say that? Like that, you could feel.
I had to process that for a second. Like, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what people would think. It's funny because like he was known in whenever he was in his 40s. Back, the fuck was that?
it was a toaster.
Oh,
You stupid.
whenever he was in his 40s, like back in the 60s or
Was he in his 40s in the 60s?
no,
or
he was in
in
his 20s,
30s?
and 60s, I think.
20s, 30s, something
Something like that. But whenever he was like in his 40s, I guess it would have been the 70s that he was in his 40s. Like,
yeah, that's when he started doing the Dirty Harry.
yeah, he was in spaghetti westerns, which were like
He was in the Man with No Name trilogy, which are amazing. It's amazing. Watch it, you whores.
that's like western movies made in England, wasn't it?
No, it was made like in Italy and
Italy,
Spain.
whatever. I meant Europe. It was
Yeah.
just made in Europe, and it's like really western movies made in Europe.
What? And they're better than American. In my opinion, they're better than American ones.
Yeah,
Speaking about American westerns that are awesome, Rango is bad. I love Rango.
yeah. But I mean, like that wasn't very western though. Like it like seemed western when you looked at it, but if you really got into it, it wasn't like western at all. It was like a glamorized western.
That's what spaghetti western is. It's like, oh, this seems badass, whatever. But really, it was just really boring. Nothing was around.
You just sat around and waited for your cows to eat their grass, and then you're
In
like,
spaghetti western, you'd fight some dude in a graveyard to see who would win the pounds of
but at
gold.
the same time,
And
it
then
was,
left your sort of friend on a tree to see if he would hang himself to death.
but at the same time, it wasn't like it still wasn't westerny.
Yeah. It's like people who make parodies of westerns now without any knowledge, like
Jonah Hex.
if a Disney Channel episode were to make a parody of a western, they would talk about they would explicitly use stuff from spaghetti westerns because they thought that's what westerns are, but then they wouldn't even do it right. I don't want to start another Disney Channel, but what I'm saying is like spaghetti westerns are what people think of as westerns.
Did we talk about Disney Channel before? I feel like we had to have by now.
No, we did. That's the episode I uploaded
We did?
yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, that was?
You know what's the funniest part that made me laugh? Was we're like, yeah, I'll go over to Alex's house and his little sisters are watching like stupid shit like Dog with a Blog, and it goes silent. What the fuck is Dog with a Blog?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like, I just don't. I don't like Disney Channel anymore. Like, it. Oh, I feel like if you showed kids who watch Disney Channel now the tards that they are, if you showed them the stuff that was back then, they'd either the cool ones would be like, "Man, this shit's great," and the stupid little like 5-year-olds would be like, "This isn't Dog with the Blog. Where's Charlie?"
Hey, shut up. His name's not Charlie. His name is Courage.
No,
He's gonna teach you some lessons.
No, Charlie from Good Luck Charlie.
I know. I was implying that instead of Dog with a Blog, watch Courage the Cowardly Dog
Oh, okay.
because you'll lose your shit.
This is the longest, like... Reminds me of, from Sunday with a Chance, where they're doing the radio show, and, like, Frank is eating, and he just goes, like, he gets silent, and Frank goes, "Dead air!" Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know Sunny with a Chance. I don't know what episode you're talking about.
Like,
Actually, to be honest, I've never seen Sunny with a Chance.
you never seen it.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
It's great.
That's what I hear.
What the fuck?
I've never seen it.
You're talking about how good it is all the time.
Sunny with a Chance?
Yeah.
I've never talked about.
No, wait, not Sunny with a Chance. What am I saying? What the fuck am I saying?
I've talked about Sunny with a Chance.
I mean, Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Those are
Why did
vastly different shows.
Why did I say Sunny with a Chance? That's a terrible show. That's a Disney Channel show.
We're back? Okay, hang on. Okay.
So I just said Sunny with a Chance whenever I meant fucking...
We were talking while I was getting food, and he started talking about how it's funny how in Sunny with a Chance, there's this one scene,
No, okay.
episode where he's on the radio.
I was talking about Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but we were just talking about Disney, which I guess put the name Sunny with a Chance in my head. But that's another shit Disney Channel show. But whatever. Like, in Always Sunny in Philadelphia...
I like it. You're always talking about it. I've never seen that show, dude.
You were like, I hear
I'm like, and I'm like, I've seen... I mean, I tried to make a dumb joke, but I'm like, I've seen Always Sunny, and you're like, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that's what I'm talking about. How did you confuse a Disney Channel show with Always Sunny?
I don't fucking know, dude. I just...
Wow, dude.
I know the word sunny, and then...
I'm so disappointed in you.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I am the new Tyler.
He still desperately wants to get on.
He wants to Didn't he fix his mistake?
Hasn't been here.
No, okay. Well...
I was leaving with you. So we end up here, and whenever he comes with us, we can't
Your
record.
or someone's always here.
Yeah, we can't record. So he hasn't had a chance to.
That's hilarious.
And he really wants to. He's like, dude, can we film a podcast? Because like, I want to like say that it's not Max Payne. It's the Punisher.
Yeah, but anyway.
I saw a guy wearing
I was talking about while Jamie was getting food, it was like kind of quiet, and I was talking about how it's funny because in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that's the show. D and Dennis were doing a radio show, and then Frank is like eating chips or something, and then they like stop talking because he's eating the chips, and he goes dead air, and like they're like, Frank, what the fuck? Stop eating chips! And he's like, what? And
I remember that. They're just in the office.
But you didn't realize what I was talking about at the time?
No, because I'm like, yeah, I've never seen Son of a Chance.
Okay. You should have just been like, yeah, Frank eating chips on the show. Like, you should have heard the word Sunny and thought about Frank eating chips on the radio show.
Well, because I thought it was like, oh, Sonny with a Chance. There might have been a character eating chips. But now, plus, I just remember what episode you're talking about.
Now you hurt yourself.
They're just in the back office, right?
Yeah, now you feel bad, right?
No. Because you were talking about a different show. And
no, I know, but now you like I feel like you should feel like you're like, oh, I should have seen it whenever it was happening. Like
no, because even when you were talking about it in the right context, I still didn't remember until like just now, when you're in the back office and they're just trying to talk, and then Frank just comes in there and he's just like eating.
Dead air.
Oh, we clever. I saw a guy wearing everyone likes grapes shirt. So.
People like grapes.
Yeah,
mean?
people
like grapes.
I was talking to Jackson after Fifth Hour, and I looked over, and there was a guy wearing a purple shirt, and I'm like, yeah, look. I'm like, people like grapes, and he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I know that Lucas knows.
Gavin? What the fuck?
What do you mean?
Have you not gotten to that part in the podcasts?
No, I'm just saying that. Okay, well, no, I haven't listened to that one, but I know that you were talking about how he said that on the podcast, and that they made a shirt. So I looked over and I saw that shirt. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And he's like, what is it? And I'm like, to be honest, I really don't know.
Jackson?
Yeah.
Said that? Okay.
He's like, I don't know.
Oh, he said the guy wearing the shirt. I'm like, why the fuck is he wearing the shirt then, fucking asshole?
So I'm like, I don't really know what it's about, but I know that Lucas. Who was it? What?
Who was it?
Who was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Had a white hoodie. Jean pants.
Oh, Gene.
Yeah. He names himself after clothing that he wears. So every name he has a new name. It's very confusing.
What's your name? White hoodie.
That sounds racist, dude. Oh yeah, I was talking about how Norm made me feel. I just remember the Lucas is taking off his pants.
No, I'm not. I had pajama bottoms on underneath.
Okay, good. I remember the Adventure Time, Simon and Marcy.
Oh yeah.
No, sad.
That is sad. What about Norm?
When he's like,
I'm sorry.
they're just bored, and he's like, all right, hang on, I got an idea. And he picks up this broken TV, and he throws Marcy in like a can. He's like, turn on the use the remote to turn on the TV or whatever. And then he sings the theme song from Cheers. And then he's like filming from a live studio audience, and he's like, Norm, and it's like whatever. I don't know. You said Norm, and I just, huh? Made me feel. We've got nothing.
Okay. Dead air. Yeah, so you're gonna have to like heavily edit this one.
I'm drinking peach juice.
That's nice. I'm drinking a Rockstar still. surprisingly haven't finished it.
We were watching the Great Gatsby today, and there's a scene where the Tom Buchanan.
Which one?
The '70s version.
Okay.
Where Tom
That's a
Buchanan,
good one.
yeah, he buys a dog for his mistress, and he's like, the guy selling him is like, oh, that's a boy, and he's like, no, that dog's a bitch, whatever. Nothing happens. No one reacts to it. Just whatever. It goes to the next scene where they're having like a really rich, fancy party, and everyone there has dogs, and some dude in the back goes, that's a lot of expensive bitches. And our teacher had to pause the video because she was laughing.
Oh, in the back of your class, or?
Yeah, because we were watching it, and you see some dude who's like, that's a lot of expensive bitches. And at the moment he said that, pause. And then she's like, I'm not even gonna say anything, but that was a good one. And then she started the movie up again. That's a lot of expensive bitches.
Okay.
I've seen people on the internet like that I watch, like the Nostalgia Critic or the Angry Video Game Nerd, and it's just like they'll do videos of just themselves just talking normally, and they'll like the Nostalgia Critic did like a video of like his top 10 comedic influences, and he names off stuff like Monty Python, Animaniacs, just like stuff from his childhood that like about comedy, and I realized how me and you have been influenced. But if we were to ever talk about comedic influences,
it would all be YouTube.
It would all be really weird stuff since we're in the age of the internet. We were born into the internet already. It'd be
I have to admit, like, I probably don't show a lot of it, but a lot of my comedic influence comes from I think his name is Carl something.
Carlin.
George Carlin!
George Carlin!
Ah!
Oh, we did it! Oh!
And it's not George Carlin. Like somehow we're like both delusional that it's George Carlin. It's like it's this guy.
I think it is George Carlin though. Something like
it's George Carlin. Yeah. Okay. There.
Did you look it up?
There. We did it. No. I'm looking it up right now. Shit. I did. Ah, damn it. I clicked on the wrong thing. Fuck. Yeah. Dogma disambiguated. Let's see. Dogma. Central Dogma Molecular Biology. Dogma the Roman Catholic. Dogma. I love how Dogma has all this.
George Carlin? Don't even look up.
I love how Dogma has a bunch of like Dogma movement in film, Dogma the Catholic whatever, and then it's like Dogma, 1999 film by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, George Carlin.
George Carlin?
Wow, I can't believe for about 10 minutes we just blinked on his name. George Carlin is badass. I love George Carlin.
Yeah, like, again, like, he's one of my comedic influences, even though it doesn't, like, show a whole lot.
Love George Carlin.
Because, like, the way he does things, he'll, like, bring something up, he'll be like, and this about this subject? And it's just like, oh my gosh, he's right!
Yeah.
And you're just like, ha 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 ha!
Watch Mojo did this video, like, top 10 best George Carlin comedy bits.
And we didn't remember the name. We love Watch Mojo.
I love Watch Mojo.
Like
some of their videos
we
are
both like mentioned how we watch or how we've seen like Watch Mojo videos and like they're awesome.
And we've never just directly said like we watch Mojo.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes their top 10 lists, sometimes they're really well done. Like say like
I feel like a lot of because you know how like they open up with clips
yeah.
and those are sort of like honorable mentions almost.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes those are better than the number one.
They started doing honorable mentions. Like for one, I think like
yeah they did.
Sometimes for like they'll do like they did Christian Bale top 10 Christian Bale performances, and that was based like the number one was his performance from American Psycho, which is like yes that deserves the win because he's amazing in American Psycho.
Yeah.
But then there's some they did like the top 10 best anime, and Dragon Ball Z was number one.
Yeah.
Which I get why they put it there.
It's because it's like the most widely influencing.
I think Pokemon was higher on the list than Bleach.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
I mean, it is more widely. Again, like
Cowboy Bebop was 7. How do you put Cowboy Bebop at 7?
They
did that one by popularity.
Yeah, they really have. Like, kind of like I feel like Watch Mojo's not the type of people. They're more into film and less into like anime and stuff.
Yeah,
So
there's
they
certain
almost
things
had
that they
to-
don't. Yeah.
They almost just had to look at the popularity.
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball Z being the most influential anime of any.
At least in America for a bit, because I think Akira was far more influential than Dragon Ball Z. Not to. You could say Dragon Ball Z was the most influential to a kid in
No, I have
America
to say
from the
Dragon
90s.
Ball Z is probably the most influential anime, being that it kind of set up the whole shonen genre.
At least, well, I said that, but for America.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, even in Japan, like, Dragon Ball Z really set the standard. And then, like, as far as art style goes, Akira, there's just not beating Akira.
Akira's amazing.
Like, art, like, as far as art goes, Akira's, like, destroyed. But, like, I wouldn't say it's influential. I'd just say it's something to be reveled. Or, reveled? Is that a word? Is it, what does that mean?
I don't know, dude, because...
Revered. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Akira was, like, critically acclaimed by film critics in,
critically acclaimed. That's
in
exactly.
France.
Yes, but
Like, that's insane.
But again, it's not influential in many ways. Like I'm sure there's a lot of like anime that take influence from it, but it's not like the most influential anime pop. Like there is, Dragon Ball Z definitely is, and
Oh, okay, I get what you mean.
if you want to name like,
Kind of how, like,
I can name you the top.
kind of
10.
how, like, Grave of the Fireflies might be the best Miyazaki movie, but My Neighbor Totoro is the most influential.
Yes,
Okay, that makes sense.
exactly.
Okay.
And My Neighbor Totoro is the one everybody knows, and not everyone knows Akira except the people who are in anime. But
Good
everyone knows about Dragon Ball Z. If I could name the top 10, I could probably tell you the anime that everybody knows: Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Pokemon, One Piece, Bleach. We'll just. Do you want to throw in movies or just series?
If it's series, I don't know if this would be, like, the most well-known, but, like, the most, like... even people who aren't fans of anime love Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is good.
I love Cowboy Bebop. It's good shit.
It's weird because I can't think of any more series, and I just had like 10 of them in my head.
You said Pokemon already.
I
Was
just said
Yu-Gi-Oh ever as popular
Yeah,
as
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Pokemon?
Did I say you? Time Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of like its own beast, like beast, because cards.
Well,
It's kind of its own thing. Like it's not even like you can't really fit in because it has like the young boy who overcomes
it wasn't Shonen Jump.
defeat. What?
It wasn't Shonen Jump.
Yeah, it
so
wasn't
there you go.
Shonen Jump, but so yeah, Naruto, Bleach,
One Piece.
One Piece, and Jump like stuff.
Some dude I was watching.
Oh, Full Metal Alchemist. That's 8.
Yeah.
I really want to get this. Like, they know it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
I guess you could say that, but
I'm just